Sunday, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. As you can tell by the title, today we are talking about 3 tops, 3 bottoms, and 2 toppers for you to consider during Love Notion's So Thankful sale, which is going on now. I will leave a link to it down in the description box. It is 40% off, but with my code Q4SND, you can save an additional 5%. But before we jump in, don't forget I am running a 20% off sale site-wide. Does not include the admin box. Sorry guys, it cannot include the admin box, but everything else, even previously marked down items, are an additional 20% off. So make sure you head over to SewNaturalDane.com and pick up some of those gifts that you were looking at or some items that you were looking at and make your purchases. All right, let's get to the video. For those who do not know, I am a brand ambassador for Love Notion patterns, and so I do have a playlist. I was making Love Notion's patterns before being a brand ambassador, so I do have an entire playlist of everything that I have made from Love Notions to date. So if maybe some of these picks aren't necessarily for you and you saw some other things and you want to see if I made them and my thoughts, hear a review, all of the good things, go ahead and check the playlist link that is down in the description box. So as you can tell, Lady Dane is wearing a new top, and that is what we're going to cover first today. I have my notes. This will be one of the 3 tops that I am recommending for a pattern if you're thinking about something for fall, winter, that will transition even till spring, that you might want to consider. So this is, and as you can tell, Lady Dane has it on here, this is the Lincoln top. And the Lincoln top, I will pop up a line drawing here. It goes up to 5X. It has a drop shoulder. It is a drop shoulder pattern, which means the arm side isn't at your natural shoulder. It is slightly dropped, and you will see that on the line drawing. It does have a full bust option, which I did use. We'll talk about measurements here in a moment. And as I have said previously, going forward, I will continue to put my measurements at the time that I record a new pattern and have measurements and all of that for you. That will be down in the description box. You do have 3 different sleeve options. You have 3/4 inch length sleeve, which is what I did for this top. You have long sleeve, and then of course you have the sleeveless option, which can be fitted more like a vest if you so choose, because then you can layer it and put something up underneath it, right? This is meant for knit fabrics, and it does have 2 neckline options. So the neckline option that I will say, I'll just jump right in, is I did the boat neck option, which you can see in the line drawing kind of extends a little bit closer to the shoulder instead of the scoop neck, which goes down a little bit more. Typically, you all who follow my channel probably think, oh, I thought you would have done a scoop neck, because you all know I love scoop necks, I love V-necks, and I love this. But we'll talk about this cow neck here in a moment. So I did the full bust option. What does that mean? What is that sizing? So my current measurements at the time that I made this is 49 full bust and 55 fullest part of my hip, which I take in consideration the fullest part of my belly for that. And I am 5'7". So what I cut out, because I am more narrow in the shoulders, I did a 2X at the shoulder area because it is drop shoulder, and I went out from a little bit above the waist all the way down to the bottom, the hem, of a 3X. And the sizing specifically for what I made is body measurements. 2X is a full bust of 45.5 inches and a hip of 46. So I told you what my measurements are. When I looked at the full the finished garment measurements of the pattern, that's why I went with the 2X 3X, because the 2X full bust is 52. Remember I said I'm 49, and the high hip for a 2X, for a 3X, I'm sorry, is 54.5, and I said I'm 55, but you will see I did the crop version. There is a full-length version or high hip and then a crop version. I always tend to do in most patterns, any pattern that I sew, more of a crop version because I am short. My torso is shorter, and so that is what I did. Those are the measurements. A 5X, if you are wondering, full bust goes up to a body measurement of 57.5 inches. It goes up to a 49.5 inch waist and a high hip of 58 inches. So those are the body measurements for the pattern that encompasses the whole extra small up to 5X. So yes, I do consider this a size inclusive pattern, and you all probably figured that out by now because I tend to sew a lot of, make sure the patterns that I do for the most part are size inclusive. And the other thing I want to make sure I tell you is I did cut out the full bust, because you do have the full bust option. I did use the full bust option for the front of the pattern. And so that is the sizing and what sizing I did. We'll talk about this luscious fabric here in just a moment. Some other primo jersey. You will love it. It only requires for the sleeve version, which is what I did, in the size range 1 7/8 yards. I did of this fabric order 2 yards. You'll see the drape of it and everything here in a moment. It says you can use light to medium weight knit fabrics with at least 25% stretch, and they suggest French terry, ponte, cotton lycra, jersey blends, double brush poly. So what I did was use a jersey, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. And so yeah, that, and you sew the whole thing up at 3/8 inch seam allowance. What I will say is this pattern is so super easy to sew up, as most Love Notion patterns. And one of the things I'm glad that they did include in this, the one part that did trick me up. Can you believe a Love Notions pattern tripped me up? But it did. And I'm going to show you, because you can't see it. You can't see it on me if I'm just standing with my arms down or anything like that. But I did want to share this just so you can pay attention, because I didn't quite do that when I was sewing up this top. But it has this, as you can tell, the buttons and everything on the side, the 4 buttons. You need a total of 8 buttons, 4 on each side. And you have the front overlaps to the back. It's a placket that overlaps from the front to the back. There is a link in the pattern that shows you if you need help with that part, just to see it. I felt like I didn't need to see it. I was making sure, because they do have the area in the pattern that shows you, make sure, you know, you are stitching up to the arm side up into this point, and then making sure that this here part overlaps. Well, thinking that I did that, and what I'm thinking happened is I did overlap everything, because I wanted to make sure I got that right. I overlapped everything right inside out, and I had clipped it and everything together, and I was like, oh, okay, I get it. I'm just gonna sew it up. Well, when I unclipped it and decided to go ahead and sew it up together, you guys, I got it all up in here, and I will show you in the video clip. All up in this area is twisted. It's the back, it's all twisted up in here, and so I'll probably be able to zoom in and show you, because I don't think you can really tell from there. Like I said, when I'm wearing it, you can't tell unless I lift my arms up, and then you'll be able to see it. But yeah, that was the only thing. Outside of that, this is a super easy sew. 4 pattern pieces, front, back, neck binding. You do have the neck binding, which I would say I would do differently next time, but we'll talk about that in a moment. And the sleeves, of course. So that's it. Is just 4 pattern pieces. What I would do differently about this, so the binding, typically when you put on, if you're familiar putting on your neck binding, and you stitch it right sides together, and then you flip it up, and that lays against you, and then you stitch it down to keep it in place. This one, you turn it in and then you stitch it down. It's not laying flat for me up against my body. and you, again, you can't tell in the picture, but I can tell. So when it's here on Lady Dane, it's pulling away, and I'm getting ready to show you both of these things here in a moment. But yeah, that's the only thing. The other thing that I did was, and you will not be able to see this as well, but I accidentally scorched a part of my fabric, and I can't remember where. And when I say scorched, you know how if you have the setting too high on your iron, it leaves that shiny residue after you press. And there's a part on here, I can't see where it is now. And I said, oh, okay, I didn't finish. My pictures don't show this completely pressed properly, because I saw that and I was like, let me change the temperature and everything on the setting. And then I don't think I went back in to finish it, but I can't remember where that is, but I caught that. Again, it's not anything that's noticeable. I noticed, I'm glad I caught it, and I had the temperature set too high on my iron. The fabric, this fabric is from the So Much Fabric Roz, who I will say is also running a Black Friday sale. I will pop up her graphic here. And of course, with most of fabric companies online, the more yardage that you buy, the more of a discount, deeper of a discount that you get. So I would definitely suggest head on over to So Much Fabric and check out her knits. Now, you all know I just did some other pants in her Ponte knit that I absolutely love, and I absolutely love this. Now, here's the thing. What I loved is when I purchased this, I got end bolt. You all know how that is. When you get the end of the bolt of a fabric from an online store, you are getting a little bit more than what you need. I only needed 2 yards, and so, but I got into bolt, so it was a little over 2 yards, and so so I'm very happy about that. But what this is, and then Roz always sends, for those who order from Roz, you know she does this anyway, she always sends a swatch sheet that have different swatches that you might consider based on your purchase. She'll put in swatches with descriptions, price, and different things that you might want to consider for a future purpose. And so I have my swatches, and so the name, let me get my card so you can hear the name of the fabric. Okay, so I purchased 2 yards, but like I said, it was in the bolt, of the burgundy rayon jersey knit, 60 inches wide. Y'all know I love wider fabric, just because I sometimes, depending on what I'm making, I need more fabric width-wise when I'm cutting something out. And so absolutely love that. It is 92% rayon and 8% spandex, and it was $18 a yard. I had purchased this maybe a week or so ago by the time you're seeing this video, but this is what I have left. I think I have a lot left, quite a bit. I mean, it's odd cuts, to be fair. It's kind of, you know how when you lay things out, because the front was on the fold, the back was on the fold, but because of the angle of the patterns, I had to put the pattern pieces underneath each other, so I couldn't put them side by side because of how the pattern angles for the back piece. And so, yeah, so you know how you have that long strip against the selvage, and then you might have a little bit left that is on the fold from the bottom, and the rest of the selvage, that's what I have. So I think I have enough to piece something together, but I'll have to be very strategic about it. And so, but anyway, I have my card, what Roz always sends, and so that is the fabric. I washed it in cool water and did a tumble dry. That's my typical thing. When I get fabric, I always wash it, and when I make something out of the fabric and I wash it again, I typically don't dry it. I just hang dry it, so for, you know, for longevity and whatnot. But anyway, let me show you real quick the couple things that I was talking about for the on this top that, yeah, I'm not happy about, but it works. Like I said, you can't tell unless, you know, I'm really moving my arms and stuff around, but it still is absolutely perfect. So let me bring you in. I think you can tell here. Yeah, you can tell clearly. See how this neck band, the binding again, usually you don't fold it all the way in, and so me folding it all the way in is not giving me a flush up against my neck like I always get. So that's probably one thing I would do differently, is I would probably do the normal way that I do it, with putting neck binding on as opposed to folding it all the way in. And of course you're supposed to understitch and everything so you don't have this problem, but I don't know, it just didn't quite work that way for me. And then here it is underneath. Yeah, you should be able to see that. See, okay, this is better. See how this is folded in? I folded it in all wrong. Folded in all wrong, which meant it did not finish properly, and so I did not put in buttonholes in mine. I just stitched the whole placket down and I hand sewed the buttons on, because I knew, I mean, especially with this error, I wasn't going to be buttoning and unbuttoning it, and it fits over the head fine. Buttoning and unbuttoning doesn't cause this to go over your head any smoother, in my opinion. At least it didn't. And so you can tell, I mean, this is on Lady Dane, so it's kind of draped a little funny, but you can tell right there where, and this is on both sides, where I didn't quite catch that properly. So I absolutely love the style and the design of this top. I wanted something a little bit, you all know, if you saw my video where I'm elevating my casual handmade wardrobe, I thought that this piece was very nice to add to my collection and be able to interchange with different pieces. So speaking of which, so this is top number one. I have two more tops to go over with you. I wore this with my Bridget trousers, which I'll talk about when I go over the bottoms. But let's quickly go over the rest of the tops that I recommend. Now, everything that I'm recommending, I have a video on in the playlist that I'll have linked in the description box. I will say this top number one, I highly recommend it. I thought for me, it was just a little bit more elevated than the other type of tops that I wear, you know, from earlier in the year, maybe in the past. So the past couple tops, if you notice, for me, it's a little bit more elevated, adding a little bit more casual chicness to my wardrobe, handmade wardrobe closet. So I do highly recommend it. Top two is what I am wearing. Y'all know, probably like, yeah, you could have guessed it, right? Because I wear it all the time. This is the chorus top, and I did it with the split sleeve option. I wear this all of the time, and I was initially thinking I was really going to make another one of these out of this fabric because the drape of this fabric. When I tell you this, Roz's knits are so supreme, and so yeah, the quality and everything is top notch. And so I was like, I love the drape of it. I don't have enough because this here cowl part of this top takes up a lot of fabric, and I know I wouldn't have enough for that. I'm gonna lay the fabric out just to see, because I would love to get another chorus top out of this fabric, but we shall see. I don't think I'll be able to. The next top that I recommend is the Arlington. The Arlington, I made two of these, and if you all remember, if you recall, when we moved here in our house that we're in now, I had donated a bunch of clothes, and I think I mentioned this before, the Arlingtons that I did make, I accidentally donated. They went into the donation pile, as into the pile that I was keeping, because I absolutely love, I did the cropped on that top. And again, the video is in the playlist. It was a, the turtleneck, what is it, is that called crew turtleneck? I like that. Perfect. They do have the long sleeve. You can make that into a dress, and so absolutely love the Arlington. Super easy. All of these tops that I'm recommending to you today, super duper easy to put together. Now, so far as the trousers, the bottoms, three bottoms. The first one is the Bridget trousers, and I'll pop up a picture. I wore that with the Lincoln just to see how it went together, because that's what I was envisioning, and it went together beautifully. The Bridget trousers are absolutely, and I have them right here actually. The Bridget trousers, this was one of the most recent pant patterns. Yes, it is. Whoops, kind of washed myself out there. These are the Bridget trousers. I made, remember, two of these. I made one as a short pair of shorts. And then I did the actual trousers, and it has the faux welt pockets and everything on here. I absolutely love how these fit, how these feel, and everything about this pattern is in that video. So where I got the fabric from, all of that is in that video. I would say go ahead and check that out. Another easy sew, I did the faux welts. You can decide to do the functional welts, but I did faux welts. So if you want to hear about sizing, all of that, what I made, go check out that particular video. My next pair of pants, oh, this is one actually I did right before the Bridget trousers. It is the Meadowlark. So I made mine because you have the option to make them into shorts, and this was it late summer these were made, I believe. Again, the video will be down below, but yeah, this is the Meadowlark. Absolutely love these. I put cargo pockets on the side of these. You have the elastic back, and then the front is non-functional. So this is a non-functional placket here, and you have the button and everything, and you get in and out of them easily because of this area back here. And so with the Bridget trousers, that is a fully functional front zip, but this one is not. And again, another super easy make. Definitely, I've worn these a lot. They're wrinkled, but I've worn these quite a bit they're just super comfortable. I believe I did say my best fitting denim shorts that I had currently in my closet. Absolutely love, love, love. And then my third bottom that I recommend is the Largo Cargos. Again, these are so comfortable. It's funny. Now that I mention it, I was a tester on all three of these. And so I know when I'm a tester for patterns that I bring to the channel, I give you a little bit more in depth of different things that I would do differently and different stuff like that, and updates and changes. So make sure you check out all of the videos if you're interested. But look at my Largo Cargos. I love these so much. And again, they have the cargo pocket. Remember, I did the animal print. If you all remember these, I absolutely love these. Have the belt and my waistband. The inside, I did the contrasting inside. The waistband was the same leopard print that I did my belt loops off of, and down here on the pocket and everything. I absolutely love the Largo Cargos. These are, all of the pants are definitely something that's fall, winter, spring, like really can take you into the next couple seasons, and I do highly recommend them. Again, video down below. And finally, toppers. So you have a couple tops, you have some bottoms. If you wanted to interchange them or throw something over them, depending on where you live. Obviously, I am in Texas, and so for me, these are good toppers to have because I don't always need a jacket. And if I have something on like this, it works for me. The first one I am going to recommend, this is my second one. The actually it was the Arlington in my Metro blazer. Oh, I could kick myself. Went in accidentally into my donation bag. It was navy knit because the Metro blazer is made out of knit, and that's what this is. This one I modified and made shorter sleeves on it, but this is the Metro blazer. And this one I did with the I forget what the style collar of this is, but the other, my navy blue one, I did in a kind of more traditional collar. But absolutely love this. Throwing this on over a tank is what I would do, and some bottoms, something like that, because it is nice and comfortable, easy to make. This is a super easy make. The Arlington, sorry, the Metro blazer. And so I will highly recommend it. And the other one, which you also have seen me in, I know you see me in a lot of these quite a bit, but that I've shared on Instagram or something like that. But the next one is the Canyon cardigan, and I wear this thing out. I wear it out. I absolutely love the Canyon cardigan. Again, a nice topper to any top. You'll see it here. I usually keep it on the hanger with this is actually the Laundry Day tee, the Love Notions Laundry Day tee, is what I wear, what I made these together actually last winter. And so yeah, I typically wear this together, so I leave it on the hanger together, but I do wear this with other things as well. And so I will highly recommend the Canyon cardigan. Another easy make, especially if, so for those who might be even traveling and you just need something you know, fall appropriate, maybe a little cooler in between type weather. All of these pieces will be something that you can really whip up within a week and have you a whole new interchangeable wardrobe for your trip, or just to add into your wardrobe for fall and winter. So that is it, everybody. Let me know what you think. Those are my recommendations. 3 tops. You have the Chorus top, Lincoln, and the Arlington. 3 bottoms, Largo Cargo, Meadowlark, Bridget trousers, and 2 toppers, the Canyon cardigan and the Metro blazer. I will leave links. They are affiliate links, of course. And again, you can use my code Q4SND to get an additional 5% off of the 40% off sale that's already going on. And so let me make sure I am not missing anything else. And don't forget, So Much Fabric, her sale is also going on. And to round it out, don't forget, and thank you all who have made your purchases. SewNaturalDane, everything on the website is 20% off, except for the advent calendars are not part of the 20% off sale, which, if you can see the state of my sewing room, yeah, by the time you see this, I mean, this probably is all cleaned up, but at the time I'm recording this, I am packing orders. So that is it, everybody. Let me know if you have any questions, any thoughts, but check out the playlist. The sale for Love Notion ends the day after you're seeing this on December 1st. So you have until December 1st to take advantage of 40% off plus an additional 5% off using my code. Go ahead, head on over to the website and shop. And also, So Much Fabric. Pretty much all the online sales end on December 1st. So make sure you take advantage of all of the online sales. Mine also ends December 1st. So 11:59 p.m. Central Time for me. So make sure you head on over to SewNaturalDane.com as well. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Let me know if this was helpful, if you've sewn up any of these pieces, or do you plan to purchase any to sew them up. All right, everybody. Have a blessed one, and we will see you on Wednesday. Bye.